Hello, and welcome to our legitimate business, Legends of Philadelphia. These are your hosts, Tony 2 times Trove, and his schoolyard chum, Johnny Cement Sandals Zito. I'm Waste Management Rep Brian Bierman. You might be wondering, why does cannoli taste better when it's taken from a dead man? Well, in addition to being Philadelphia natives, Zito and Trove have a lifestyle brand, South Fellini, that focuses on Philly culture and in-jokes. Lots of times, customers will ask us, are you a cop? Because legally you have to tell me. Or they want to know if we took care of that thing. So we decided to start this podcast as an easy explainer for new Philadelphians and a refresher for the old heads. The city fascinates and excites us, so we're hoping to share that with you. One day I'm going to memorize it, and I'm not going to need to read it.
That'll be really
One day we'll
impressive.
get a teleprompter. Now that
We need a cue card guy.
Oh,
An intern.
an intern to just like flip the cards, so you can be like flip,
Faster.
flip, too fast, too fast.
I just want to point out, we're wearing
We're
the
the same pants.
I'm just going to call attention to it.
I was like, I'll save that for the end. Corduroy.
No, stop! You're gonna start a fire. What are you guys doing?
And I know I told you where to get these. This boutique called Amazon. Too. I know they're from there. That's who I want to shout. I want to shout out this week. Amazon, this upstart company.
Great book selection.
Oh man, they're doing great things for the world. Also, I have crumb bum socks like Zito. So.
I'm wearing and I'm wearing crumb bum socks as well. So
Which you can
we
buy.
both match a little bit with beer.
Wardrobe provided by South Fellini and Amazon.
Yeah. People are going to come in and be like, do you have those corduroy pants? Sorry.
Can we screen print on corduroy? Maybe we will. Maybe we'll start carrying them. So this episode is about feuding DJs and whether or not they may or may not have put a hit on one another in feuding for territory.
This was like rap beefs before, like.
And this isn't Howard Stern versus
DeBella.
John DeBella.
Yeah, these guys were around way before. So in 1995, the New Jersey State Commission on Investigation issued a report saying that Jerry Blavat, the self-proclaimed geater with a heater, once asked mobsters to kill his friend and rival DJ, High Lit. The revelations rocked the Philadelphia broadcast community, dividing loyalties and forcing industry professionals to choose sides. The lurid scandal culminated in a face-to-face meeting where High Lit confronted Jerry Blavat about the deadly allegations on live television.
Wow.
And that's
Everyone in Philadelphia was like tuned in.
It was a big deal that week. It was July 3rd. It was right before the 4th of July. Welcome
like, we're
America.
not going
Everyone at the shore.
We're not going down the shore. Well, I gotta watch this. Like, we gotta get
What do you
involved
think?
with this.
What do you think the vibe at Memories was like that weekend?
It was probably pretty tense.
There was like the Gator people were sitting over here, and the High Lit people were over there. It was like the Sharks and the Jets.
Yeah,
Sharks
man.
and the Jets.
bunch of boozy boomers.
What does Gator with the heater mean?
I looked it up. It means alligator with a heater, and he swears that means like a space heater. But a heater is like a
It's a
slang for a
gun.
gun.
A gun.
Yeah. So I always thought it was an old guy with a gun, because a geater is like
He's saying it's
like a geezer.
Oh, I'm an alligator in front of a space heater. That's
Yes.
what he's trying to be like. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Why is that? What's that got to do with
Well, you
anything?
can give yourself your own nicknames.
But why that though? Why is you're a cold alligator?
Well, he's also like the boss with the hot sauce. Like
Yeah, I
he's
guess
like
he
giving
had
himself
different
these like
ones.
rhyming
Yeah,
nicknames. You know,
it needs a rhyme. He was like, I don't know.
It's
it
like
rhymes
when-
with Gator.
like the Zito with the Cheetos. You know, it's like
When I was real little, they would still play like doo-wop and 50s music on 98.1.
isn't it just soul crushing that the oldies 98 station
It's
plays
like-
music from the 90s?
They were playing Avril Lavigne.
They were playing.
the other
They were
day.
playing the Strokes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
nope.
like, yeah, it's crazy.
the oldies circuit
Yeah.
featuring the Hives.
Like, oh, Skater Boy, I remember this song.
I swear to God, I thought about Avril Lavigne today because I put a T-shirt on over top of a long john.
Like that.
I was like, well, breaking out that Avril Lavigne early Y2K. I swear to
Yeah,
God.
you do like Avril Lavigne today.
I got a whole skater boy thing going on.
It's complicated.
You do like a skater boy. You do like a skater boy. How do you spell that anyway?
With an 8 and an I.
These are the
Because he doesn't really dress like this. He usually
no.
wears
suits and ties.
He dresses like the what was her name? Trench Coat Mafia or whatever. He's a black leather duster.
I'm usually a Matrix guy.
He's just like he's in the
a lot of buckles, a lot of leather.
A lot of straps.
Those aren't the sunglasses he typically wears.
It's Matrix or like S&M.
These are the kind of visual gags that you only
you
get
can't
from
get it. You
watching
can't get.
on YouTube.
If you're listening, you don't know what color pants we're wearing. We're both wearing. You got to watch the video now.
When was the first time you guys became aware of Jerry Blavat or High Lit, the oldies scene in general?
Well, I remember listening to like oldies 98. I always loved oldies since I was a little kid, and I was like, Dad, why does this guy talk over all the songs? And he was like,
Yeah.
Look, son, that's Jerry Blavat. He's been doing this since 1961.
It's his
That's just how he does it. I'm like, but all he does is just like says everyone's name, and it's like it makes people feel special, and that's why they love him. But I want to hear the tunes.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear this guy talking it over it or singing about it.
They always talk like right before they're
Right
about to
before,
sing.
yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, you know when the song's coming in, the words are coming in, cool. And I always liked High Lit. He played like the really old songs. He always played like the doo-wop songs. I don't know. I thought that was cool.
High Lit, I like didn't really know. Like
He's
I
like
knew,
so old. Like
Yeah.
I feel
like Jerry Blavat, I knew, and like I think we talked about it before, but he would be biking around and stuff. Like you would see him around the city.
he put up a mural up on Broad Street of like all the
himself.
old. Well, he put up like all these like oldies acts, and then he like himself
But
in the
he's
middle.
the biggest one.
Like,
It's like, you didn't make any of this
DJ,
music.
you hit play.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You talked over these
all these
people's
other
songs.
people have musical abilities.
Hyman Litt was born to Sam and Mona Litt on May 20th, 1934. He grew up in South Philly at 5th and Rittner before eventually moving out to Osage Avenue. He got started in the business in 1955, fresh out of the University of Miami.
He had to be like the only kid from South Philly to go to University of Miami.
I think it might be the University of Miami in Ohio. I think it might be like
Well, he has to be the only kid from South Philly to go to Ohio.
It's like, I'm going to school in Miami, Ohio.
Is he from Philadelphia, Mississippi? Or...
There's a Philadelphia, Ohio, too.
This explains a lot.
Litt dominated AM radio in Philadelphia for the next decade as one of WIBG's good guys, and his Hall of Fame show drew 71 market share, unheard of before or since. In 1956, Litt married his first wife, Miriam, who was in fact Miss Philadelphia at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, High Lit was on top of the world.
A power couple.
Power couple.
That is a power couple. That's especially for the 1950s. That's like as Americana as you can get.
Poodle skirts and
Cadillacs.
yeah, and
Doo-wop DJs, the whole thing.
getting speed from the drugstore. Just all that.
You know,
good
50s stuff.
Yeah.
It said that in the 1960s, Heisky's voice, as the teenagers referred to him, drew 3/4 of the listening audience, many in defiance of their parents' direct orders to shut that music off and go to bed.
Turn off that devil music. It's like the song's about holding hands.
Litt flourished in radio and brought huge acts to Philadelphia like Elvis and the Beatles.
No big deal.
NBD. So in a way, High Lit actually invited the British invasion that
He
wiped
welcomed
out,
it.
Yeah,
He welcomed
that
it.
wiped out the Fabians and the Bobby Rydells.
So it's his fault.
It's yeah.
He hoisted his own petard.
Sorry, Frankie Avalon. Take a seat.
In the late 60s, Litt hosted the nationally syndicated High Lit Show from WKBS-TV in Philadelphia, which aired in more than 30 markets nationwide. Guests on the weekly hour-long show included such musical acts as The Fifth Dimension, The Monkees, The Four Tops, and Marvin Gaye.
Nice. I was trying to look up like High Lit stuff, and it's like none of this like exists.
A lot of that stuff got taped over. We talked about it when we covered Captain Noah, but it's hard to find a lot of his stuff before 1985 because the old film tape-to-film system was just about...
They probably were like not even recording audio.
Some of it went live too.
Yeah, it was just live stuff. So
No one wants this crap. Just tape over it.
Jerry Blavat was born July 3rd, 1940, and also grew up in South Philadelphia. His father was a bookmaker, and his mother worked at the Philadelphia Navy Yard during World War II.
Like he makes books?
Like he was a gambling bookmaker. Like he took bets. And,
That
oh, like a
sounds-
bookie.
like a bookie. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like South Philly.
Yeah. He came from a mixed background, Jewish and Italian Catholic. So he kind of had his feet in both worlds. And
The Old Testament and the New Testament.
just both sides, both sides of the neighborhood. I guess what I'm trying to say is he seemed like a kid who wanted everyone to like him right from the get-go.
Yeah. He's like, I'm an alligator. Like, sure.
I'm an alligator with a gun.
In 1953, Blavat debuted on the original Bandstand with Bob Horn and Lee Stewart. He was on Bandstand before it was cool, literally.
So
Wow.
this before Dick Clark was on Bandstand?
Yeah, this is when it was a local. So we never covered American Bandstand on the show, but in speaking about it,
That was another one that was always on there.
Well, this is like so old. This is
Yeah, I know.
like people our age are not going to be like, oh, let me check in to hear
man.
about the geator.
Yeah, I love this.
I love this.
American Bandstand was a local program that got so popular that the national syndicate stepped in and was like, we'll take care of this. We'll take it from
We
here.
got this. And we're gonna, it needs more dick, quite frankly. That's what they said.
In 1956, Blavat managed a national tour for Danny and the Juniors, and he worked as Don Rickles' valet from 58 to 59. What kind of mean shit do you think that Don Rickles said to Jerry Blavat?
Yeah. Go get my car. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, yeah, I got to hear this again.
He
Yeah,
probably
I know.
like took so much of that act
Yeah.
to just like you don't drive Don Rickles around.
Why, yes, Mr. Rickles, I am half Jewish. Let me hear about this again.
Let's hear.
I love this. Can't get enough of it. I loved it. Don Rickles is great.
Yeah.
He really is. But that seems like a thankless job. I mean, maybe he wasn't like doing that, but
I imagine Don Rickles is Don Rickles
He's
24 hours a
always-
day.
Right.
He's always on.
yeah,
There's no stopping him.
yes. He called me a hockey puck. I got it.
I get it. I get it. And Danny and the Juniors, I think they were from South Philly.
Yeah.
As well. I remember the Juniors were playing like bocce ball with my parents over at Gurin.
Recently.
Yeah, recently.
Danny was banned.
I think Danny overdosed or committed suicide or something. I don't know if we can say that on YouTube.
Did they replace him with a different Danny?
I think they just started appearing as the Juniors.
As the Juniors. That
They
makes
did
sense.
like Let's Go to the Hop. So you know their song.
I know their
There's
song,
a hit,
yeah.
you know.
From 1965 to 1967, Blavat produced and hosted a weekly television show in Philadelphia called The Dysphonic Scene, a dance show along the lines of American Bandstand, referring.
Dysphonic scene.
It sounds like dystopian scene.
This is definitely the '60s now. It's just like, everything's like, oh, it's like a scene. It's like weird.
Yeah, it's groovy.
He's giving these names, but they're not great.
But if you just repeat it enough, then
But you're
it
talking
works.
about it.
We're talking about
You're talking
it.
about
Sure,
it.
Sure.
The Dysphonic Scene was a dance show along the lines of American Bandstand. Referring to himself as the geator with the heater and the big boss with the hot sauce, Blavat acted as host. So I guess he just saw the American Bandstand formula and he was like, I'm just going to ape this.
I can do this. I got this.
Well, I would say, he's just copying it. But there's been so many television dance shows
Yeah.
forever.
It's a
so
formula, yeah.
Yeah, they're not around.
The Grind.
And he's like, the grind. Jerry Blavat's The Grind.
The Grind.
At spring break. Jerry
You know,
Blavat.
He would have gone. If they would have invited him, he
Oh
definitely
yeah,
would
of
have gone.
course.
The Grind was on MTV when we were kids, and they would go to different cities. And I remember they did The Grind at like Pat's and Gino's, and I don't know if it was really there, but it was just like green screen, the
green
backdrop. But I've been looking for this forever, and I cannot find it on the internet. But I know this existed. Maybe any viewers?
Is there
Yeah.
anybody that has taped every episode?
Every episode of The
MTV's
Grind.
Grind.
I'm sure there's somebody.
Might be
If
me
anyone
too.
who taped all the episodes of The Grind, I don't get in touch.
It's like a group of people in front of Pat's and Gino. It's like, I got the Pat. They're like doing dances and shit. It's like, I need to find this footage, man. Someone better have this.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
No, I want to see it, but
Yeah.
there's a price you pay.
Is it on archive.org? They have a lot of crap.
I didn't look there, but maybe
We'll find it.
We'll find it.
We found the
Steve Carlton's meditation room.
yes, which was you go back in our archives, but a thing we were looking for, and Zito found it accidentally. He
Secret
stumbled
Rooms of the
on it.
Vet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he stumbled upon it, so we'll find it. We'll get to the bottom. of this.
It'll pop up. We do this long enough, all the dirt rises to the top. Jerry was a popular personality and guest starred on television shows including The Mod Squad, The Monkees, The Tonight Show, and The Joey Bishop Show.
These are big shows.
Yeah, this is
Monkees.
decent appearances, yeah.
But,
Seems like he had a relationship with
for
him.
a local DJ being that, like, he was that popular that he, like, showed up on all these other things.
Yeah.
He's on the Monkees like show.
Yeah. And they were on his show.
Yeah, but like he's a live show. I can't believe the Monkees had him on there. Like,
Oh yeah, I don't know what he was doing, if he was like playing the bad guy of that episode, or
he's probably played it like
Like,
himself-ish.
yeah,
you know?
I was gonna say he probably spins a Monkees record in the show.
And Joey Bishop, forgotten Rat Pack
Yeah.
member
Yeah, always
That's-
like Joey Bishop, funny
That's
guy.
where Regis Philbin got his start.
on the Joey
A
Bishop show.
young Regis Philbin. Wake your kids up and bring. They'll want to hear about this. If you're listening to this, they want to hear about Regis Philbin's starts.
Regis Philbin. Joey Bishop, the unfamous member of the Rat Pack.
Yeah, the other guy.
Well, what about Peter Lorre?
What about Peter Lorre?
What about Peter? He's
another
way
guy.
less famous.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. He had to clean up after that when they left the bar, and it was like, you left trash all over there, and they're like, Frank Sinatra's out picking up after himself. But
Peter will get it.
Someone has to do it.
In 1972, Blavat purchased a nightclub in Margate, New Jersey, and named it Memories, where he would DJ regularly, spin
And it's
records
still
himself.
like that's like a place like stuck in time.
Yeah.
Like
Still
it was an
there?
oldie. Yeah, it was like an oldies club in the 70s, and it's still an oldies club now, and it was called Memories. Like,
Yeah, that's weird. I kind of want to go.
It sounds like
Let's
the kind
go.
of place that Stephen King would write a book about.
The devil lives here.
the people who are watching this episode are people who go to Memories, so we cannot talk too much trash on Memories.
I just meant it's like The Shining,
I
there's a
just
bunch
mean
of,
like
like,
the
there's a bunch of
Shining. It's like
ghosts.
that party
I
at the
just
end
meant
of
it's
the Shining.
haunted. I didn't mean anything by it.
Now, Jerry always played the music that he wanted to. He didn't follow the approved list of artists or records that the radio stations had programmed. Quote, playing music from the heart, not from a research chart, end quote.
Damn, he had a rhyme for everything. That's why no wonder this guy
Yeah,
was
but I know
famous.
what that meant.
Yeah, that's another part of the.
Sorry, we'll get to that.
He claimed this was part of his personal style, developed in front of live crowds at the dance clubs, but other disc jockeys like High Lit, who did follow the rules, didn't appreciate Jerry's free spirit.
So High Lit was playing what he was supposed to play.
Yeah, he was playing what he was being told to play to stay on the air. He was given playlists, and his
So
job-
High Lit's boss was like, "This is what you play," and Jerry Blavat was like, "I'm not going to play that. I'm going to play what I want to play."
If you're listening on audio, he did the money.
The money hand symbol, the money hand gesture.
You can't hit. Wait, do it in the mic.
It's called Payola, and there was a crackdown on it.
So that was like. Was that around this time, or was this after this?
Well-
Where the Payola scandals of like.
The Payola scandal started all the way back in the late 50s. It's part of a wider crackdown on television and TV show
Well,
contests.
I mean, there's still
and things like that.
Payola. They just like
Yeah.
I didn't give you money. I just bought you a car.
Yeah,
I didn't.
there's all yeah,
You know, it's,
and there's all kinds of legal ways to do it.
mhm.
Yeah, you buy somebody like a trip or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, it's my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Clarence Thomas. Right there.
I just gave you a money sandwich.
Yeah,
I
come
mean,
I mean, a sandwich full of
gold
money.
sandwich. Yeah.
According to You Only Rock Once, Jerry's autobiography, Lit accused Blavat.
What would your autobiography be called?
You only roll once.
You only roll once.
Lit accused Blavat of being on the take for record promoters, an allegation that could have destroyed the Geator's career.
Because this was like a big deal at the time. Like they were cracking down on this.
Yeah, you can get in trouble with the government and then lose your job because the government has the license, provides the license to the radio station.
You're not playing the doo-wop you're supposed to be playing. We got to crack down on this.
This guy keeps playing Danny and the Juniors.
Yeah.
When are you gonna play the?
When are you gonna play the Mickey's Monkey?
Litt made his accusations, but the geator denied it, and there was no proof. Not even after Jerry had broken the records by newcomers Frankie Valli, the Isley Brothers, and Dionne Warwick that their own labels didn't think were worthy of release. He went on to claim that Grateful record execs wanted to give him a royalty share on these hits, a reward Dick Clark regularly indulged.
Oh.
So he would get royalties because he was like, I made this song popular.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And Blavat swore he only ever did it for the bragging rights, and he never received any kind of royalties or points.
I believe it.
Yeah, out of the goodness of his heart.
It's crazy that years ago, and I mean, I do believe that DJs could just break you into the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we even say, what was it? 94 YSP used to break artists.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you play a song on the radio, even you only got to play it once, then people are calling, like, yo, what was that song?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
It was a different time.
Then, like, people, like, radio was so popular back then that it was like, man, that, like, yeah, it would actually, like, cause it to be popular or whatever.
Yeah, you could blow up from one play on the radio.
There's only so many radio stations, and this is like a big market, and it's...
Yeah, especially in a place like Philadelphia, which services a bunch of states and cities.
And every station had their own like audience. So if you like, yeah, it's amazing that years ago and a DJ had that power.
Yeah.
I can see this. They're why they're egomaniacs.
It's possible that Jerry didn't forgive or forget this slight so easily. In 1995, the New Jersey State Commission on Investigation issued a report saying that Jerry Blavat asked mob boss Nicodemo Scarfo to kill High-Lit on at least 2 occasions.
2.
He asked twice.
He was like, hey, I know I don't want to make this weird, but I asked before about that thing.
Like, I know you're like a mob guy and you're doing like all
I know.
kind of like your little illegal scams.
You're busy.
But like, how about you kill my rival DJ, who's my friend?
Yeah, he's my friend.
Why don't you just like kill him? I know we're both oldies DJs and so irrelevant these days.
So he asked him to kill him in 95, though?
No,
or
in
before?
95, a report came out.
Oh, it came out in 95.
It came out in 95, but it
In
was
95, there was like, there's literally not room for both of us. One of us has to go. There's only so many oldies.
I play the Supremes. He plays the Supremes.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Listen, they want me to play grunge music, okay? They're breathing down my neck.
Do you know what a Pearl Jam is?
I can't deal with this.
Jerry Blavat's flannel
Horrible.
stage. Yeah.
Horrible music. Pearl
Temple
Jam.
of the Dog? What kind of band name is that?
There's no bop. There's no bop
There's
to
no.
this.
I can't swing to this. You can't make out in the back of a Cadillac with
I can't
the...
sharpen these fingers to this.
So this report came out in 1995. According to the state of New Jersey, Blavat thought that Litt was cutting in on his business and wanted him rubbed out. Scarfo told Jerry that he was crazy and that he wouldn't do it. So Jerry requested that Scarfo have High-Lit roughed up a little bit instead.
give me the.
Just send him a message.
Give me the lesser version.
yeah. Come on.
You don't have to kill him. Just like. I just smacked him around a little bit.
Just break a tooth.
Just break his. Well,
Like this mobster was like, that's a little low for me.
we're a little bit more legitimate than that.
I love the idea that like maybe Scarfo was like, actually, I'm a High-Lit fan.
It's like
You talk over all the records,
talk
Jerry.
about all the songs, I just don't like it.
I'm sorry,
I want to hear
Jerry.
the tune.
Scarfo told Blavat that he'd think about it, but it was a soft no.
A soft no. I like this. He's a mobster, but he's like, I also have boundaries. Like, my therapist told me that I need to have boundaries.
High-Lit claims to have heard these rumors that his life was in danger around 1984. He was warned to get out ahead of the potential hit by contacting anyone in the criminal underworld who might have a line to Scarfo or his crew.
So he'd go kill him first, basically. Preemptive, a hit. A preemptive rub out.
I'll pay you twice as much. But High-Lit had no connections, and after a few weeks, nothing happened. The rumors died down, so High-Lit dismissed it. Figured it must, just be
It's
nonsense.
bunk.
We got to move on with his life, you know.
Well, he was real careful for a few weeks, and then he went back to his normal life.
He got Bob Charger to start his car those couple of weeks. It's It's cold out. Can you go?
After that, High Lit and Jerry Blavat actually became friends in the 80s and 90s as the oldies scene started to shrink around them. But when the New Jersey Commission published their report, it made huge headlines and confirmed that there was something to the murder plot after all.
Damn.
Scary stuff.
That's messed up because they were friends at this point.
Yeah, at some point, High
Well,
Lit...
they were friends and they were enemies and they were friends again. And
then you find out your friend tried to kill you in the 80s.
You didn't try and kill me, did you?
No.
Sir...
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. 2 times I did.
Only 2 times.
2 times that people know about.
Yeah. And this is one mobster. We don't know about the other.
Who knows what else he asked?
Yeah.
I just don't get how there could be that much competition, like to feel that competitive against someone else who's playing just the same Temptation.
Only I play the Dell Vikings. There's not enough room in this malt shop for both of us.
Mulch.
The week after the report was released on July 3rd, 1995, Blavat sat face-to-face with High Lit for an interview on 6 ABC's AM Philadelphia with Wally Kennedy. Jerry asked High to his face if he believed the accusations. High Lit admitted that he didn't want to believe that it was true, but in 1984 he took the threats seriously.
Man.
It's Jerry Blavat was like, you don't believe that, do you? You don't believe it? Come on. Like, he's like aggressive about being like forgiven or
say I didn't kill you.
Say I'll kill you if you don't say I didn't want to kill you.
Yeah, he tried to bully his way.
Like, trying to bully the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like further making me believe that it is
Bully
true.
him into feeling safe.
Jerry Blavat repeatedly proclaimed his innocence, insisting that his supposed connections to organized crime were gross exaggerations. Jerry was friends with all sorts of people. Frank Rizzo, Cardinal Kroll, Walter Annenberg. Real stand-up folks.
How can I be friends with that guy if I'm friends with this guy?
Cardinal Kroll, Catholic Church. They never did anything wrong.
Cardinal Kroll. You expect somebody to be friends with a mobster and priest? Come on.
That's ridiculous. But the host of the show wasn't buying it. Wally continually chides Jerry for being a crony and a hanger-on.
A crony?
Yeah.
Well, like a mob wannabe. They're the worst.
They're still around.
Wally is going for his throat. He wants him to
That's
admit
so
something.
crazy, too, because he's like just the host.
Yeah.
And he's not like High Lit, just like,
He's like, I'll have you killed so quickly.
don't you know who I am?
I feel like Wally thought that he could maybe get Jerry to admit a little something,
Yeah.
or lean into it by calling him a hanger-on or calling him a crony. He could be like, "What? I'm the biggest. I ordered the murder of Angelo Bruno. You know, like I killed the chicken.
I
man."
killed the chicken man.
Like, I thought he thought he was gonna have like a Matlock moment or something.
Oh, man. So then it gets juicier, huh?
It does in fact get juicier. The second half of the segment, former Philadelphia homicide detective Frank Friel joins the program, and he all but calls Jerry a liar to his face. He says, Jerry, that's not true, insinuating that Jerry used his associations with Scarfo to intimidate and impress across his career.
Yeah. He's like, I know mob bosses.
Yeah. But Jerry refuted that interpretation and said that these associations caused him more trouble than any benefit he might have received. In fact, Jerry believed much of the report was fabricated by a former mob associate who was banned from Jerry's club, Memories, for not paying his bar tab.
So he's like, I don't associate with these people, except for this guy who used to come to my bar.
Yeah. But I had to kick him out because he wasn't paying.
Him out because he didn't pay.
And Jerry's trying to get under Wally's skin in the interview, then trying to be like, Wally, you know people, you've met people, you don't ask everybody what they do for a living, do you? And Wally's like, I'm a reporter. Yes, I do. It's my job to ask people what they do.
What they do. I'm asking you.
And Jerry's like, well, I'm a DJ.
Yeah, I just wear this Kangol hat backwards. Okay.
This was before his Kangol phase, but he was still dressed in a very tight suit.
It's crazy that people just kind of got over all of it or didn't really care.
Yeah, they're
or
like,
people
who?
liked it about him, you know.
Who is this?
That's true too. A lot of people did like it about him. They take
Yeah, they were like, yo, that's cool. He's in the mob. Like, I want to be.
they took calls on the show, and nobody could believe it. Nobody believed that Jerry was
No.
capable of these things.
Not
Well,
my-
he's
not
just
my
like,
geater.
who's really intimidated by Jerry Blavat? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, the geater with a heater. I heard you.
he's an alligator with a gun.
that sounds scary, actually.
So I guess this is why people weren't really. I mean, I guess this is why he also was looking for someone to do the work for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to get his claws dirty.
His alligator hands.
Jerry handled himself pretty well on the show, never losing his cool, but that slick approach did border on slimy a few times. At one point, Jerry opines, quote, "I've been in the business for 35 years," end quote. And Kennedy interrupts, quote, "The record business or the mob business?" End quote. It's clear that Jerry's legacy is on the line in this interview. If Hylet chooses not to believe him on live TV, memories might be all that Jerry has left.
Wow.
Good,
Figuratively
good pun,
and literally,
Good pun,
yeah.
good pun.
Wow.
That's like when people like, okay, you've been doing it for that many years, so it's.
Yeah. Yeah, what does that mean? You've been getting away with it for that long.
I met the coasters, okay? Yakety Yak was about me.
I do get the impression there is like I said, Jerry's being slick, but I do get the impression that Jerry feels his career is on the line in the interview.
It's also probably like,
Why did he even agree to do it?
because he was trying to rescue himself. I'm sure he had a bunch of like gigs and his club on the line. Who are people going to come to his club if they think it's unsafe?
I could get shot up at this at this place.
You might put a hit out on me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. If he's willing to kill his friend over
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
over
And
this
I mean,
over
like,
ratings,
let's say it happened, right? Hylet gets killed, and it's like, well, who benefits from him getting killed? You know, I
Yeah.
feel
Who's
like,
the number one suspect?
yeah, it's like, oh, well, it's this guy.
right? So if anything ever happened to Hylet for the rest of his life, everyone's
Yeah,
like
he's-
Jerry.
Yeah, exactly.
After leaving the broadcast, Hylet embraced Jerry warmly and decided to believe his friend after all, agreeing to leave the past in the past. As the veteran DJs did promotional interviews for the evening news, they made light of the whole situation. Cameras captured them leaving the studio arm in arm, reminiscing about old times. They even shared a kiss on the cheek.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was real sweet. They made up.
the kiss of death.
I knew it was you, Fredo. I knew it was you,
I mean,
Jerry.
you've been holding a grudge against me for eating your M&Ms, and I'm just saying.
You'll never see it coming.
You know-
You should take all of the threats I make on your life seriously.
Do you think Hylet really didn't believe it, or he was just like,
I had no choice.
yeah, like if I say I don't want to get killed, so
Yeah, he just had to be like, no, of course, Jerry, you're a good guy.
It's totally cool. It's totally cool.
no, it's fine. Who hasn't threatened to have somebody murdered by the mob?
Hylet was diagnosed with Parkinson's in the late 90s, and he died November 17th, 2007 at Payola Memorial Hospital of kidney failure. He was 73. So he made it to a ripe old age without getting whacked.
I mean, that's all you can ask for.
God
in
bless
life.
him.
That's all you can ask for in life, to not get whacked.
Mm-hmm.
He made it. If there was a hit on his life, he survived the contract. Blavat died in hospice at Methodist Hospital in South Philadelphia following complications from neuromuscular disease on January 20th, 2023 at the age of 82.
Yeah, he was very, like, just always around. Like, he would just,
Love or hate him, he definitely is influential.
yeah, and he would be, like, on TV and stuff all the time. It was just, like, it was always, and even when he died, it was, like, you know, they showed his funeral on TV.
They
like,
flew the flags at half-mast.
yeah.
That's
yeah,
not a joke. They
yeah.
did that.
Like, it was such a big, it was like a, you know,
And I just kept going, really? Really? The guy from Low Cut Connie wrote a song about him. I was like, really?
Do you guys believe the story? Do you think that Jerry Blavat went to Scarfo's house and said, "Whack my friend"?
Absolutely. I bet, but I imagine they're probably like having drinks. He's like, you should just like kill Hylet. Like, I think it was probably like that as opposed to
it
like,
was lighthearted. It was
like
a
give him like
goof.
a note or like it was Scarfo's daughter's wedding day. You know, like I don't think it was like that. I think it was probably just like like while they were hanging out.
Yeah.
Listen, I might have said
Like when I'm like, yo, you should kill Bierman.
yeah. And I wouldn't be mad about it.
Man, I was just,
I'm
I
like,
was
dude,
just,
I get it.
we were having roast beef sandwiches. I don't know.
I was all on roast beef.
I was high on roast beef. I was high on the juice.
I 100% believe this as well. I worked for an oldies radio DJ for a while. His name was RJ Disco Forever, and he had quite a few feuds going on. And I'm sure people
Well,
wanted
it's a
him
small
dead.
scene,
Yeah,
right? So they all hate each other.
Yeah.
I remember once him and Bob Charger actually getting in a really bad fight, and
You had to break it up.
I was like, whoa, guys, come on, you've been friends forever. And RJ shouted back at Bob Charger, I helped you bury your dog.
And I can't believe Jerry Blavat had that guy's dog killed. That's what's messed up. That's just like crazy.
Okay, that's pretty much all there is to know about the dark side of local DJ feuds. Please check out our website, www.southfellini.com, for cool, inspired Philly merch. Visit us at 1507 East Passyunk Avenue in beautiful South Philadelphia. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're also on Patreon, at South Fellini everywhere. Follow along and join in the conversation. We want to hear from you. Look out for new episodes of the podcast every Monday. Stay safe, wash your hands, and see you later, boy.
Why do we gotta wash our hands?
See you
though?
later, boy. You don't have to wash your hands anymore.
You should still wash your hands.
No.
No.